Hello guys, so today we are going to discuss promises in Node.js, and we'll be discussing what are promises, how they are useful and how they work, and an easy demonstration in this video. Okay, so let's get started. We start with the very first thing. What are promises? So promises are like you are promising to do some work. Okay, and if the work is being successfully completed, you're gonna perform some operation, and if it is not gonna successfully completed, then you're gonna perform some other operation. It's just like that. Okay, so and the cool thing about promises, you can always combine them into dependency chain. And what does that mean? It means you can combine them like do promise C when promise A and promise B has already been completed. Okay, so it's just like that. And what are the use cases? So promises are basically used to manage asynchronous code. Asynchronous means the things that we cannot execute at the same time, the things that cannot execute parallelly. Okay, like requesting the database or requesting data from the URL. Okay, so it helps us manage that code. So now let's start with an easy demonstration. Okay, so I'm here using Atom text editor. Okay, so let's make a new folder here. Let's name it as promise. Okay, and inside this promise folder I'm gonna make a new file. Let's name it as demo promise dot js. Okay, so inside this file I'm gonna make a new promise, new instance of the promise object. Okay, and to make things easier in future and call some methods on this instance easily, I'm gonna assign it to some variable. Okay, promise. Okay, so now this promise constructor, it takes an argument as a function, and I'm gonna use here callback anonymous function syntax to keep things simple. Okay, so this constructor, it takes a callback function as an argument. Okay, and now this callback function, it takes two arguments, two callback functions, as I told you, one for the successful completion and one for the failure of the promise. Okay, so let's say it is resolve for the success case and reject for the failure case. Now inside this block, what we are gonna do on behalf of some conditions, like if some condition is true, then we are gonna perform some operation, and if we are gonna resolve the promise, or if the condition is not true, you are gonna reject the promise. Okay, so just for the demonstration I'm gonna use if else here. Okay, for the conditions if the condition is true, you are gonna resolve the promise. Okay, and I'm just gonna pass here hello it to a string. Okay, and inside here, if the condition is not true, we are gonna reject the promise. Okay, so error output. Okay, now just to remove error, I'm gonna pass true here so that we can say this condition is true. So it will always call the resolve method here, but we will see how to call reject. So now to check if the promise is being fulfilled successfully or being rejected, what we have to do, we have to just call a method on that variable that we have made, and the method is named as then. Okay, and inside then we have to pass two arguments, one for the success and one for the failure. Okay, and these arguments are always the callback functions. Okay, so I'm gonna pass two arguments. Okay, so there are two arguments, this is for failure case and the first one is for success case. So I'm just not going to do anything complex here. I'm just gonna print whatever is coming from the above. Okay, so it's this failure case, and name it as illnesses, and I'm gonna log it to the screen as well. Okay, so what we have done, we have made a promise, assigned it to the new variable, and then on fulfill on some conditions being true or false, we are going to resolve or reject the method, and then to check if the promise is being fulfilled successfully and perform some operations on the fulfillment or the rejection of promise. We have assigned two callback functions, one for the fulfillment and one for the rejection, and inside those callback function we have just printed whatever is coming from the resolve or reject method. Okay, let's see what it does and how the things go. Okay, I'm gonna run it. See, hello, it worked. And how it worked, it comes here, the condition is being true, it called the resolve method with the string passing inside it. Hello, it worked. It goes here for the success case. Okay, it sees whatever message is coming, just print it out on the screen. Okay, so it worked that way. So now to check if our reject method is correctly, what we are gonna do, I'm gonna pass it false here. Okay, so what it should do now, the condition is false here, so it's gonna call reject method, and inside then it is gonna come inside this block, and inside this block it sees an error message, whatever is coming from the above reject method, it's gonna print it on the screen. Okay, let's run it up. So see, error occurred. And if you're thinking that this block's confusing you, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna print here. Sorry, I'm gonna make a log here. Okay, inside success block. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing in this block. Okay, so it's just for the demonstration, just to keep things simple for you guys. Now run it and see in which block it is running the statements. So see, rejected, inside then it goes here inside the second statement, the failure of the promise. Okay, so this is how the promises work. It's an easy demonstration. We will be discussing more complex things on promises in the later video, in the second video. Okay, so guys, that's all for this video. See you in the next video on promises, okay, with some complex things. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and like the video so that I can make more useful videos for you. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.